week away from IJC night at Happy Valley. We've got an exciting 8-race program to look forward to, an exciting program to look back on as well from Sha Tin on the weekends. We're less than 2 weeks away from HKIR. Very warm welcome to Racing to Win. I'm Andrew Jeune, joined as always by form analyst Paul Lally and race caller Mark McNamara as well. And Mark, we'll talk about what happened on the weekend in a moment, but what have we got to look forward to on Wednesday night?
Yeah, interesting little program, Andrew, coming up on Wednesday night. We've got a horse for Casper Founds. He debuted a smart one on Sunday, and Enriched Delight, Propice, is going to make its debut. Now, never easy to win as a PP. He'll make his debut in race number 6, which is chock full of speed. The South goes around in that Wild West wing, just to name a couple, so the early speed should suit him. Yeah, we've got lots of last start winning form to get our teeth into, Paul. Jackpot-wise, or any short price favourites to note?
There's nothing at this stage, jackpot-wise. I don't think there's going to be anything that's going to be really short here. There's a couple of good runners, a couple of young up-and-comings like Pegasus Glory, who's gone really well, scores of fun in the last, but he's come up in a hard race as well. So I don't think there'll be anything too short. There's a couple of first starters, as Mark mentioned, and a couple of interesting ones there as well.
All right, no Zach Purton as well, worth pointing that out early. He sits this one out through suspension, as he will the weekend as well. Before we get into Happy Valley, let's look back on the weekend action with our racing review. The Chevalier Cup was the feature race then, midway through the programme, and it was Sky Darcy. Mark, we had the 2 horses lurking at the bottom of the weights here, him and Lucky Express in the purple jacket, looking to go to the 4-year-old series, tackling the Panasonic Cup winner in Buddies, who's just about in front now. He
didn't lead Panasonic Cup winner Buddies, Andrew. He was taking a trail in the run. He hits the lead here. Lucky Express lets down well, and the good thing about Sky Darcy, Paul, was he had to build the momentum while the other 2 did, and he's a horse I know you've got a very, very big opinion of.
Yeah, and look, he hit the line really nice. He came from behind Lucky Express. Lucky Express got the first run on him, but throughout the race, he got a really nice run just in behind Sky Darcy. So all steam ahead for the 4-year-old series now, I think, for him.
And Casper Founds stable's absolutely flying. He's still got Sky Field waiting in the wings as well, heading towards the Classic Mile, possibly. Sky Darcy, he'd made reference, Mark, as well, to Green Birdie. He got to win the Classic Cup. He was a Group 1 winning sprinter.
He was indeed, and there's the presentation on the Chevalier Cup. That was the 50th running of the Cup too, but lovely stable of Sky horses around at the moment too.
That certainly is.
Yeah, definitely. And look, Sky Darcy's a half to a Brisbane Cup winner too, so I've got no doubts being by Darcy Brahma, the mile's going to be a problem. The mile was obviously no problem for him, but it looks like 1,800 and even up to 2,000 for him.
All right, it was Fans Moreira again in the final race. Enriched Delight on debut with a number of high-profile debutants, Mark, who stole the show in the final event.
This was a wonderful ride from Joe. He was on the inside, buried away, coming to the turn, and he weaved through. There was some, as you said, Andrew, some very well-credentialed horses in this, and the Australian imports, Paul, pretty much all ran up to the reputations they arrived with.
Yeah, they did. Shadow Hero, he hit the line really strongly, and we talked with David Hayes before the race, and that's what he suggested would happen, and he's looking forward to International Day for his next run, and I thought it was a really nice win there from Enriched Delight.
Yeah, we'll have a look at that race again in a moment in the horses to follow section, but Zarson got a whack on the all-weather. It was a mighty impressive win, Mark, and Super Axiom on debut for David Hayes. He couldn't have been any more impressive.
He went up 12, Andrew. He just absolutely jogged it down the outside rail. Started from barrier 3-2 and had the speed to work across to the outside fence. He went up to 64. Zarson for his 5 1/4 length breakthrough went on the all-weather, went up to 86, and Sky Darcy, Paul, he went up to after his Class 1 victory.
Yeah, nice win, and I thought all for St Paul's as well. It was a nice ride there. He was really well rated in front, and he's gone up 7 as well.
Yeah, Derek Long, the man in the saddle for him. All right, they were the big winners on the programme. Let's see if we can find you some more with our horses to follow. All right, Paul, there were a lot of first starters on the programme and horses making their Hong Kong debut. Who caught your eye?
In race number 1, this one that Super Axiom won. Now, he won very, very easily, but I thought it was a good debut run here from Ice Legend. We had the Fallen horse there, and he got impeded halfway down the straight with this horse. But you can see, once he clipped off heels there, you can just see there, that's where it happened, and he had to come back out. And I just thought he balanced up nicely and hit the line really well. He's well over 100 to 1 on debut here, but I thought it was a nice debut run from this horse, and he'll be a lot shorter next time he starts.
Yeah, so will Super Axiom on the back of that performance. The last race for you, Mark.
It is, Andrew, and it was chock full, as we've mentioned, of talent. Enriched Delight, Shadow Hero in those blue colours, but The outsider of the three that came from Australia to making their debuts was Tourbillon Diamond, formerly Eric the Eel, and 1,400 metres looked short of what he was going to need, but he's chimed in beautifully down the centre of the track. The winner works through the centre. The further he goes, the better he is going to be, but for a debut at about 50 to 1, he couldn't have done much more. He was on the outside, he kept coming, and Ballistic Kings matched it with him at the end, so I don't think he'll be made it in Hong Kong for too long. The old Eel.
Yep, Eric the Eel, Tourbillon Diamond. The Full Series is looking great already, isn't it? It's still a month away or so from the classic mark. Back to Happy Valley for my horse to follow, A Smile Like Yours. Now, he was on debut here. He was about 76 to 1. Horse winning the race was the favourite in Walling Together, who'd run really well. He'd breaking his maiden, but he'd run in some nice races behind Soaring Tower and Pegasus Glory, actually, the start before. So the form looks really good. You can see how he hits the line. He was only small. He's less than £1,000 on debut. Could be a winner in waiting there for John Size. Chad Schofield in the saddle on that occasion. Now, as far as the suspensions were concerned, well, Chad Schofield picked up a couple of days and a $45,000 fine as well, and Blake Shin, a couple of days for him, sits out the 9th through the 14th, which is international weekend. All right, that wraps up the weekend action as we start looking forward now to Happy Valley's programme. And Aries is out of race number 8, replaced by Green Rain. Karis Teeton makes the straight switch there. Karis with 8 rides on the programme. 8 on the turf. We're on the A course for meeting number 26 of the season. We start off with a Class 4 here over the 2,200 metres. Methane is the winner over the 1650, gets up to this trip for the first time. He's runner-up over the 1,800 metres last time out. Above is a course and distance winner. Bullish Glories won up to 2,000 metres, but he's been out of form so far this campaign. Kung Fu Master Panda staying on strongly behind Full Power over 2,000 last time out. Hayrun is a last start course and distance winner. Comes up in class. So that was Class 5, and Pretty Bohemia with Karis Teeton the sail with the blinkers and the tongue tie back on mark. How does the speed look for this one?
It's a slow tempo for the 2,200 metre opener, Andrew, with Chunghwa Spirit. Now, he's an interesting runner. He ran 7th over the 1650 last time, has no form at Happy Valley, gets Joe on. They leave Joe in front, he'll be there for a long way. Magnetism to his outside. Methane, he's having his second run over the distance. Hayrun looking to go back-to-back. Above and Kung Fu Master Panda, they'll get the trip, but won't like the slow tempo back in the field.
Here is Methane. Now, Jerry Chow ride this horse. He's got a good book of rides, actually, throughout the card, I think, Jerry. And look, the horse is going nicely. 2,200 metres firm. He did runner-up over 1,800, but down here in Class 4, he looks well placed. Chunghwa Spirit, now, he's stepping up to the 2,200 metres here for the first time. Interesting to see how he goes. Now, Joe Moreira will take the mount, and his wins, his better runs have been on the all-weather, but he's going to try here the turf. And Dynamic Eagle, I think this guy's on the improve, and he is a well-rated horse. He has won off a rating 10 points higher, and his track work suggests he's not too far away either. So only a one-time winner, though.
All right, well, let's start off having a look. We can tick a few off the list here, Mark, as well, with Methane running second. This is 1,800 metres, Dynamic Eagle, Kung Fu Master Panda, and Pretty Bohemia. Couldn't be split. Magnetism's further back there as well. He eventually runs in 10th.
He does. Now, Methane's only had the one start over 2,200. That was up in Class 3 and didn't run it out. Kung Fu Master Panda, Paul, he's won over 2,000 metres in Ireland. Indeed, he's been placed over 2,300 metres at Roscommon too. I think he's the one that is going to be the horse to beat with the right run. Yeah,
look, he looks really well placed. And I like the run of Dynamic Eagle there, running nicely for 4th, and he's another horse who's really well rated.
OK, moving on then to Chunghwa Spirit, Paul. Very impressive, winning on the all-weather at the start of October. What are the thoughts of him staying? Joe Moreira jumps on board. That's certainly a positive.
Yeah, he's out of an Exceed and Excel mare as Chunghwa Spirit. Look, he's had 7 goes at Happy Valley and hasn't really done anything at all. I mean, he has won on the turf before, Chunghwa Spirit. That was at Sha Tin. I don't really like him here at Happy Valley.
Can't leave him out with Joe on board. He'd win on a rocking horse at the moment.
All right, that's Chunghwa Spirit. What about Hayrun, Mark? He's hard to catch. He's won 3 times now, nearly $3 million in prize money. This is a course and distance win last time.
Yeah, so he'll run the trip no problems whatsoever, but it was down in Class 5. Now, if for somehow he could work to the lead, that'll be his best attribute, Paul, because Wagner's on board, and when Wagner gets to the front over the 2,200 metres at Happy Valley, he's hard to get past, but not for me in this field.
Yeah, me either. I think Andrew summed it up well. He's a very hard horse to catch, but he has won twice over the 2,200, one at Sha Tin and one here.
Yeah, so that's got to be dangerous. Socket Elite around second there. We'll see him in a minute or two. But Kung Fu Master Panda, he's got to be a chance, hasn't he? His jockey is Derek Long.
Derek, you've been riding Kung Fu Master Panda this season. How do you think he's going?
Well, he's been keep improving. He more relaxed in the morning, in the track work, and even in the race too. And you can see he stepped up a bit over further distance, and he kept improving.
Will that step up in distance suit him, do you think?
Well, we believe so, because at the end you can see he's traveling good, but at the straight you can see a bit one pace. So we think if he can more relax, 2,200 is no problem for him.
And looking at his last run here at Sha Tin, the tempo wasn't all that strong at different stages. He didn't seem to have the clearest of runs. What did you make of his performance that day? Did he have some excuses?
Well, actually, the track is a bit fast, but quite firm that day, and the time is fast. But in the race, we felt like a bit slow, the tempo, and he was traveling. It's good, and top the straight, we can find the room at the 300, and he kept going, but just a bit one pace.
So have you got some confidence for tomorrow night with him?
Well, I have confidence with him, and if he can relax and go smooth in the race, I'm sure he will run well.
Yeah, and we saw Derek winning on Hay running one of those replays. He had a winner on the weekend as well. So he's on a roll. Paul, what do you think of the first?
Yeah, quite an even race. I'm going with a horse above. We haven't really talked about him. We just saw him in that race there with Kung Fu Master Panda. He has won over the course and distance before, and he's had 2 starts in it, and the other one he was placed. So he does like the 2,200 metres. Methane in there for second. Should get the best run in the race from the trail. The well-rated Dynamic Eagle for third, and the Kung Fu Master Panda have to be a chance as well. So 2, 1, 6 and 7.
The horse bred by the Queen, number 7, Kung Fu Master Panda, to finally break through here in Hong Kong. His younger brother, Sextant, won up to 2,500 metres as well, so the further he goes, the better he should be. This looks ideal. Above will run the trip. We know that he's won here off a rating of 48. He's up to 58 now. Chad Schofield gets on well with him. Chunghwa Spirit's the unknown. Joe for Dinner Ship and 6 Dynamic Eagle. He's another one that'll run the trip. He's been placed at his only start. 7, 2, 3 and 6.
7 for me as well. Kung Fu Master Panda. Same numbers as Paul, just a slightly different order there. 7 and 1 the cue for me in the first. Next up for us, race number 2, Class 5, but still over the 1,800 metres.